Hi, I'm Chris Holcomb at Russian River Lavender, and this year I switched my irrigation over to the Kifco E110. Previously I was using drip tubing, and now that I'm starting to plant bigger fields, I couldn't really stomach the amount of plastic I was using. And this is a great option because it not only uses less plastic, but I can get the machine out of the way when I'm needing to do another operation like cultivating or something else. This is how to operate the machine. Right now I have my water line hooked up with a cam lock, and I have 60 psi when the machine is not running. And what I'm going to do is unreel the machine, turn it on, and then show you how it reels back in. This machine is solar powered, so it comes with a solar panel and a battery, and so far I haven't had any issues with that system. It works even into the night. If you come over here, there is there's pretty clear instructions on how to unreel the machine. So right now this is this has just watered the last block of this field, which was planted maybe 3 weeks ago, and so it's set to reel in right now. To make it so I can unreel it, I have to pull this pin, which releases the motor and disengages it from the retracting wheel, and then I have to pull this pin. Now the reel is free, and I can pull it out by hand maybe 100 feet, and then it's once I get to the end of the line, it's really difficult. So I use a BCS to pull this out, which is probably the smallest machine I would recommend for this operation. You can use a tractor or a quad or something similar to do the same job. It is really important to move slow. If you retract it or if you unreel it too fast, it could cause some problems. So now I'm going to turn on the BCS and unreel the water reel. It does come with several different tips. I'm actually using the smallest one because I'm more concerned about covering more rows than I am about putting a lot of water down. You can compensate for that by turning the speed to its lowest setting, and it seems like that takes 8 or 9 hours in its slowest setting. And its fastest setting, it is around an hour, hour and a half. I haven't perfectly timed it, but it's pretty quick. In the fastest setting, you're really not going to get, it's not going to penetrate deep into the soil. But if you're just trying to do a quick cover, then it'll work for that. All right, so now we're going to show you how to hook this thing up. I have the pressure off to the water right now. There's a switch on the sprinkler itself that turns off the sprinkler when the reel has come to the end of the line, and this bar right here stops the motor. So you can turn this machine on and let it run a cycle, and it's fine. You can just leave it alone, and the system will stay pressurized, but your water will stop. And I've been using this fire hose, which works great. I don't really have a bunch of leaks anywhere. To reel it back in, you might be able to hear that the motor is going right now. I can turn off the motor if I need to. You pull this pin again and lock it into place. If the teeth don't line up, you can turn on the motor and line up the teeth again. So right now it's not going to line up. Oh, it did line up. But if they don't line up, you can do that. And then you drop that back down, and there are clear instructions on the machine as to how to do that. So now I'm going to open up the valve for the water, and sprinkler should start going. There it goes. Now that I have everything set, I can turn on the machine to go whatever speed I want it to. That's the slowest speed, which is about 8 or 9 hours. And that's the fastest speed, which takes about an hour and a half. And I'm running about 50 PSI right now, and the sprinkler is covering 22 rows, which are, each row is 4 feet wide, so it's quite a bit of coverage. So I'm out here at the sprinkler, and it's still reeling in, but I wanted to show you that there is a button on the sprinkler itself which turns it off when it gets to the end of the reel, and also is where you turn it on to get the sprinkler going. I currently have the water reel about 1,500 feet away from my pump, and I just turned it on this morning, so there is some air in the lines. So it is kind of spitting a little bit, but that's the only reason why. The longer it stays pressurized, the air gets out of the system, and it's very smooth. So you might see some spitting like that. And when the sprinkler gets back to the reel, there's a bar right here that pushes into the machine, and it turns itself off, and you don't have to worry about your sprinkler staying on too long. And you only have to come out here and set it up. You don't have to turn it off at the end of the day.